Okay, good afternoon. Let's do a little tutorial on how to generate a cost schedule. So here we have some data. This data is in a tabular form. You can see from table design. It's called the PMS schedule, preventative maintenance schedule. So we can see we got a Humvee and an MRAP with oil changes and tire changes. We have a start date of 1/1 for the oil changes and a start date of 1/2 for the tire changes. Now, this start date I'm gonna. This is a case where the start date is should be the receive date. So we got the Humvee brand new, and we got the MRAP brand new, and we want to generate some dates between the start date and end date. But we want it to stand off the frequency, so we don't want to incur costs on 1/1 or 1/2. We want to incur them 7 days after, as part of the PMS schedule with the associated cost. So what do we want to do? We want to go to data. We click anywhere here in the table, and we pull it into Power Query. So Power Query Editor opens up, and here we go. So now we have our thing. So what we want to do is generate rows of data with the associated dates between the start date and the end date for each of the Humvee and MRAP. And this could be thousands. So let's add a custom column, and Power Query Editor will allow you to write some code. So I wrote this code with the help of AI, and we're going to let the frequency equal the frequency. And you see frequency is that column. Anything that's boxed like that is a column. And you can see the start date and the end date in there. And we're going to generate a list of the start date plus the frequency. So that gets us out of that start date. We don't want to incur charges on that start date. We want the first frequency date. Okay, so let's hit OK. Now we have a custom. Now, expand to new rows. That will generate a list of dates for each row. We don't want to extract values. Extract values would give you a column cell that included all the dates between the start date and end date, not including the start date of every 7 days. So let's expand to new rows. And there we go. So now we take this column and we can move it to the beginning. Now we have our custom column, which is the dates. Let's change this column, change the type to the date. So now we have a date. We have the vehicle coming in, right? The Humvee. And it could have a serial number, or it could be 100 Humvees with 100 different serial numbers. That's how powerful this can be. And you can see the frequency and the cost on that associated date. And then you can total up the costs as you want in a cost and a PMS schedule. But this is how you get your dates and your costs. So we could change this custom to rename that, and we'll make that PMS date. Okay. And we got the vehicle, we got the procedure, we got the start date. We could make the start date, let's make that renamed to the DD 250 date, the date we bought it, the government bought it, end date, frequency, and the cost. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go to the Home tab. We want to close and load. We want to close and load 2. And we're going to put it right here. We're going to download it as a table to the existing worksheet. And we're going to go right here and hit OK. And there's our associated dates and where we need to put them in. So this is a quick way to generate a list, but with a little quirk of getting rid of the start date to make the start date not being charged. So we could see the DD250 date is 1/1, but we don't start charging until 1/8. Okay, so that's the end of this. And let's share this code one more time so you can see it and copy it. This custom code we have here. So all we got to do is go back through and you can generate this code here. Okay, thank you.